everyone, so it's Mr. Smelly.
Hello.
And me, Smurfy, and today we've got a really good frag chat for you. We're going to talk about a very controversial topic, compliments, what we think, how important they are in the fragrance community. A quick Jeremy update on his Perfumer, because Mr. Smelly made a bit of an epic fail, but we'll cover that in a second. We've got a new house to go over with you, a company called Esquisse, and we're going to smell some of their perfumes. And finally, we've got a life update for us both.
Yes.
So stay tuned.
All to come in the next few minutes. So, first of all then, scent of the day, or well, scent of the night now for us. So what are you wearing tonight, Claire?
Well, I'm wearing from a sample from Atelier des Ors, and it's called Lune Feline. I've fallen head over heels for this fragrance. It's a spicy vanilla fragrance. I love it.
What do you particularly love about it?
I like that it's not too sweet. It doesn't smell like a cake or dessert or anything. It doesn't smell exactly like a gourmand, but it's just a really gorgeous, expensive smelling vanilla.
Can I smell a bit?
It's actually here.
That's lovely.
Bit spicy and just multi-layered, I think.
And are they a house that we're going to be mentioning soon?
Yes, they are. We've got a full set of samples, so we're going to be covering that house very, very soon.
So coming up in either the next episode or one of the very soon ones, Atelier des Ors, Lune Feline for you. A bit more mainstream for me, and this one is Valentino Warm Malt Intense, perfect now that the nights are getting a little bit colder. So it's of course often compared to Dior Homme Intense, and it's we think the same perfumer, Olivier Polge, although it's hard to find listed the perfumer. Iris, bit more sweetness maybe than Dior Homme, and a bit of a black leathery note.
Touch of leather, and I get more vanilla in the dry down of that than you do in Dior Homme Intense.
Very smooth,
but very close. A little tiny hint of spice of some description.
Oh yeah, I find it's quite complex and rewarding as time goes on. You get different things. So Valentino Warm Malt Intense, still a real favourite.
And a great bottle, ribbed for her pleasure.
Apparently so, yes, it is a rather incredible bottle. All right, so those are our scents of the night. Let's move on to one of the main subjects then, which is compliments. So actually I got an email from a friend, a fragrance friend, Paul Sweeten, thanks very much, and he actually sent me his bottle of Bogart Pour Homme, giving me my third bottle of it, because he bought it and didn't care for it, and for some reason kindly decided to donate. He needed to donate it to the person with more perfume than anyone else in the area, but I really appreciated it, and so thank you. Anyway, he asked me about compliments in an email and suggested, why don't you do a video on the phenomenon of compliments in the fragrance community? Have we got the? You might just read if you see one or two sentences that were key, or even read the whole thing.
Yeah, so about compliments, he said, it seems to me a strange distraction in fragcom, but certainly a topic with so much room for discussion. Odd to me that despite having the same retail experience, no one talks about compliments with shirts or suits or haircuts with the same focus around an unsolicited reaction. And it's kind of true. As we were just saying, you don't have a list of top 10 most complimented boots or jackets or...
on YouTube.
No, or best panty dropper shirts.
Exactly, yeah. Although we don't get millions of videos that are actually entitled compliments, but it does come up a bit.
And even if it's not in the title, there are a lot of the male reviewers that do talk about compliments.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. If it's not necessarily in many titles of videos, but it always seems to be a thing that people say. But then you just said we don't watch that many fashion videos to know. Do people maybe? I think people would say this shirt always gets compliments, or I always get compliments when I use this hair product. It probably, but it feels like it's a bit more of a thing in fragcom for some weird reason. But I do wonder
if that is because fragrances if they have a link to a part of the brain that evokes a certain memory. Yeah. So because of that very close, intimate kind of link, perhaps that's why people talk about how a fragrance could get compliments and potentially get you somewhere with the opposite sex.
Yeah, so maybe, are you saying that
it's more of an emotional link to your olfactory stuff?
Within the of the people who are giving you the compliments, or your own?
Yeah, no. So if someone has a reaction to a fragrance,
Right.
because they really love it,
Yeah.
it's generally because it might be linked to something in their memory. Because
Oh,
a
okay.
fragrance is much closer linked
Right.
to things in your memory.
So you think maybe fragrances are more likely to draw big compliments from people because they go into their brain and like hook them in a way that a nice shirt doesn't?
No, because I think you get more compliments on clothes than you do on
Oh,
fragrances.
okay.
So I've got jumpers.
Right.
I've got a couple of jumpers, like my rainbow sleeve one that I
Yeah,
recently
yeah.
got,
Yeah.
and the animal print
You
one.
get a lot of
They're
compliments
getting
on
me
that,
a
yeah.
lot of compliments at
Yeah.
the moment. But I don't think it's necessarily about that a fragrance gets more compliments. It's just that it's more linked emotionally and memory wise than an aesthetically pleasing jumper.
So you think it's more satisfying to get a compliment on a fragrance? It's more important and pleasing to you than if someone likes your shirt or your jumper?
No, I think
I'm
that
clearly not getting this.
I think
don't get what you mean.
the person that's smelling the fragrance
Right.
is having a reaction that's more intense
Right.
than just being pleased by the look of a jumper.
I see that now. Yeah. That's the thing. It's more
deep.
sensual. It goes more straight to some kind of
Yeah.
primal thing at the back of your brain that you can't control.
Yeah.
Than a nice looking shirt or a pair of
Which is
sunglasses.
why I think
Yes.
some people will feel that the right fragrance might necessarily get them a little bit further with someone.
I think that's I think that's the key. Yeah, if someone says my jacket looks really good, I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
But somehow if they say I smell really good, it would feel, not they often do, but it would feel slightly more intimate like it seems more closely related even to that they find you attractive. It may not be anything to it, but yeah, it seems it's more of an intimate kind of compliment than your shirt's good or whatever.
You don't get many compliments anyway on your fragrance, so you say it yourself. But if you get compliments on fragrance, is it a man? Have you ever had a man go, "Oh, you smell nice, mate"?
Not "you smell nice, mate." I have had the odd thing.
Yeah.
No, I have had it. Yeah, no.
But I find that it's a bit more it's just a bit more intimate, I think. So you might not have a man compliment a man on the way he smells, but he would very happily tell you that he likes your watch or your jacket or.
True. Yeah. That's an interest. Yeah. Well, what do you think, viewers? Do you get more compliments from men or women? Assuming do you get more compliments from the opposite sex or whichever sex you happen to be? Do you get more sex? More sex?
You get more sex.
Tell us who you get sex from as well. But do you get more compliments and or sex? More compliments from women or men? Most people might say women are more like prone to give the men a bit more standoffish.
Are more open to complimenting people and each other. My compliments, I would say 95% of my fragrance compliments come from other women.
Right.
So I think they're just more open to it. And maybe a little bit more perceptive. I'm not sure. Don't want to insult everyone.
And some people they say they've got a stronger sense of smell too. And also, shout out to Sharon in the coffee shop where I go most days for my lunch. And she is my main barometer of if my scents are good, because she often says, "Oh, you smell really nice." And that was before she didn't know anything about my fragrance channel.
But she does now.
So some days she'll say you smell really nice, and some days she won't say anything. Who knows if that depends whether she's having a busy day and not in the mood to be nice or whatever. But I often find it happens to be that I go there for lunch and I normally have resprayed recently. So what do you think about compliment getter fragrances? And
do you find it annoying that the compliments are so focused on in reviews, whether they be YouTube or on any other forum? I do find it slightly annoying when someone says, "Oh my God, you get so many compliments with this fragrance." It's slightly annoying. I mean, I'm happy to hear about a genuine compliment. Like, I wore this to the shop and the lady said, "Wow, you smell amazing." But to go, you just get so many compliments, it just feels a bit...
it's the kind of lower end of the intellectual way of thinking about fragrances. So, I mean, you can't imagine Luke Turin writing a review and saying, this one gets you compliments up the wazoo or whatever, you know, or whatever.
Or wherever else you like taking it.
Yeah, exactly. Lex Ellis used to say, "This one will get you compliments up the arse." Whatever that means, but yeah, it feels like the lower end of the kind of ball game, really, intellectually.
Yeah,
like if you're focusing on that, I mean, it's not a bad thing. But yeah, obviously we're all interested in the art of fragrances, and getting compliments. It does feel like a sort of lowest common denominator, or almost a dumbed down way of viewing what a fragrance is for. However, we all like a compliment.
It's always nice to get some kind of affirmation that you smell good. So there's nothing wrong in enjoying a compliment, but it shouldn't be the focus of why you're wearing the fragrance that you're wearing. And you need to wear it because you really like it, and that you hope that the people around you won't be offended by it and won't mind it, or might quite like it. But that's what I think anyway.
Yeah.
But I do think men and women slightly differ on that.
Very good point. That's a good point. Yeah. What do you think about that? Because I think it's much more of a thing that men go on about. This will get you compliments. Even this term panty dropper. Most people do use that in a tongue-in-cheek way.
Wear this on a date and she'll be all over you. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess. And you wouldn't hear a woman saying, "I really like this fragrance," because it really gets the guys coming to me or whatever.
No, not really.
I mean, men probably aren't that so impressed by a woman smelling nice. They tend to be focused on visuals, don't they, men? I think the male brain is proven to work a bit more
definitely visual,
based on one thing, how they look, and the rest is kind of well, yes. Why I'm here. No, I'm just joking, but yeah, exactly. Men are more basic, whereas women see the whole picture, and so how you smell, how your hands, are they smooth, or I don't know, how your voice is, or your person. I think women see a bigger picture, don't they?
Yeah.
Of the man.
Yeah.
Whereas men
was they trying to size up your bank account?
well,
or something else. Anyway, we need to get this moving
swiftly on. Let us know what you think about compliments. One that you get lots of compliments on is...
Right, so the most compliments I've received, and the most unsolicited and very strong compliments, have come from Eccentric, from Molecule 01, from Eccentric Molecules. There's a lady at work, she didn't know I was into perfumes, she smelt it on me, absolutely loved it, kept coming back, eventually got me on the phone and then ordered it online.
That's
unsolicited compliment in a shoe shop, buying shoes. The lady over the counter said, "You smell amazing." I just get good. I mean, they've all been women again, but I get quite a lot of compliments from that. Bearing in mind, I've only had it. When did you get it from me? Was it Christmas or my birthday?
One or the other.
I've had it less than a year.
Yeah.
And just really is a compliment magnet. Magnet?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a good one from Sharon. She said I smelled bang on, which I thought was, a 2-word review that I am happy to hear. It was New York Intense by Parfums de Nicolai. A lovely, it's got patchouli, lots of animalic notes, musk. It smells very similar to Bois de Portugal. Tons of lavender and a really nice citrusy green opening, old school. So it just shows you the old school stuff can get compliments. I find when I get compliments, it's if I've sprayed in the last hour.
Yeah.
Performance, I think, is massive in compliments. If you are being smelled, most fragrances don't smell bad, so you're going to get a compliment if you are smelling strong.
Yeah.
People are not judging. I wasn't sure about that undertone of cumin in that one, but if you are actually smelling strongly of perfume, you're more likely to get a compliment, even if whatever it may be, whether it's Bleu de Chanel or Black Afghano.
Yeah.
Right, that went on a lot longer than we planned. Never mind.
So we've got a quick Jeremy update. So last frag chat, Jeremy said that his perfume was about 50 years old. So that's why we thought it might be, who did we think? Francis Kirk Duchamp.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, turns out Dan didn't hear him properly and he said above 50. So Dan's got a hearing aid on its way. And of course, now the reveal has been done. It's going to be Alberto Morillas,
who is well above 50.
And there's a video that Jeremy's done of him in the factory and the offices where Alberto works. What's the main company called? Is it IFF? Or
is it Firmenich?
Firmenich.
Yeah.
Okay. So they'll basically be doing his fragrance with Alberto as the head perfumer. And that's kind of all we know. Jeremy's leaving full reign to Alberto Morillas to create the fragrance.
Pretty much, yeah. I think, Yeah, he said
just
as much himself.
Just a slight direction by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
So, we'll see.
The only interesting thing I wanted to say is what do you think about that? Because some people said, oh, Alberto Marias only makes generic or boring type fragrances because he did Acqua di Gio, Versace Pour Homme, Perfumer Acqua di Gio, I think.
Okay,
but to counter that, he did do Gucci Guilty Absolute,
which
one
is
that's really
quite groundbreaking, really,
interesting.
for a designer fragrance.
So what do you think about how that fragrance is going to be? Well, I think there will be two, won't there, to start off with?
Yeah.
Let us know.
So, moving on.
Now for the serious bit of the show. Trying to get some credibility, which is great. And we're going to look at, is it Esquisse?
Esquisse, so they're a Russian perfume house. The perfumer will be Marina Volkova.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Bond.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Bad guy,
yeah.
bad
girl.
person, Bond girl. You can find Esquisse Parfums on Etsy.com in the UK. I'll put the link in the description. Right.
Our first fragrance we're going to smell from the house is called Wisteria.
We've tried these a few times before, by the way, so this is not a first impression.
I remember you really like this one.
Right, Wisteria.
Yeah, so this one, I've just written down a few of the notes, not all of them. You've got lemon, jasmine, mandarin, wisteria, heliotrope, ylang ylang and benzoin in there, amongst a few others. I think it's very, very pleasant.
That is beautiful. Exquisite freshness. Lots of...
It does smell very expensive, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like, just put together so nicely. I can smell the heliotrope, which gives it just a hint of an almond-like powdery
I was going to...
thing.
Yeah, it has almost a tonka. I was going to say tonka, but is there some kind of similarity with tonka and almond?
Well, tonka
sort of
can smell a bit almondy, yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, that feels more...
I get the almond, yeah. Did we say before that it reminds us a bit of Cologne Blanche by Christian Dior?
Maybe, yeah.
Really nice. Lemon, but it's a mixture of citrus stuff and sweetness.
And something a little bit herbal, and I think wisteria can smell a touch herbal. It's all really nicely balanced. Like, you've got smooth florals, sweetness.
That's really I really like
really
that.
Good one.
That would be a really good freshie, like my favourite Creed freshies. So it's a Russian house.
Yes.
Who you can get them wherever you are
They're
in the world,
on,
pretty much.
Yeah, they've got their own Russian website, but if you speak English, that you need to get them on Etsy.
Right.
That's where they are.
Etsy is a place where you buy stuff, right?
Yeah, like
online.
handmade things and
I know
vintage
Etsy.
stuff. This
Oh,
one's
the
called,
cat's just found the new shelves that we put in, and
Yes.
she is exploring them.
This one is called Ailes de Papillon.
Ailes de Papillon.
Ailes de Papillon.
That's something of butterflies.
Yes.
Wings?
I can't remember. We keep looking
It's
it
a
up
part
and
of a
then forgetting
butterfly.
about it.
Something to do with butterflies.
Or it might be like the fly of the butterfly, or the as you say, the wings, or something like that.
Oh boy, that's
So,
really beautiful.
Yeah, this one's got amber in it. It's got vanilla, some woody notes, some jasmine, lime blossom. It feels quite spicy to me, but really interesting.
It's another. I find it mainly really fresh, but
I feel like there's
got
a freshness,
bit of
but there's some like
vanilla thing as well.
Spices. Like, I would pick that for an autumn day, I think.
Okay.
The cat's going to knock everything over. The cat's just...
I find that really
down
beautiful.
here.
Both of these two have got some things in common, I think. There are some
I
similarities.
feel like there's a cohesion between all of these fragrances. So, and I really like that.
I pick up on the really nice jasmine, and I've just seen the other one that we like has jasmine as well. The cat's about to destroy
She's going to knock everything
everything
over.
we've worked
yes,
for
you
here.
can smell the jasmine.
Absolutely beautiful, both of those.
Ready for another one?
Maybe I'd reach for them in the same mood, so they're a bit close, but they're both exquisite sort of mixtures. I guess that one was a bit less citrusy.
Yeah, I feel like that. Well, there's amber in there, there's vanilla.
Yeah, but it's
jasmine.
still airy and light and sort of fresh
They
as well as being
all
sweet.
transparent, all of these fragrances. Not weak, transparent, light and airy.
That's interesting, because almost with a Russian house you think, oh well, it's really, sometimes it can be very cold in Russia, so they might be very heavy, but these are very airy and French perfume type smells. Really.
And I think they're linked to art, like like art when you draw and paint.
I've heard of it. Yes. I
I just thought, I've got perfume on my lip.
Oh dear, it doesn't taste great. No.
Okay, this one is one of my favourites. It's called Mandarin Herbs. I haven't written down the notes, but there are various. There's a mandarin and bitter orange in there.
Oh wow, that's good.
There's some oak moss.
That's the most citrusy of them.
I
That's a
absolutely
citrus
love
bomb.
it. I mean, it is more of a summery fragrance, but the longevity, I've tried it on my skin a few times, the longevity is really good and it projects really, really well. And it's something different. It doesn't just smell like a cologne like you might expect from the title. There's something else going on in there that makes it a little bit magical, I think.
That is super citrusy. There is an eau de cologne-esque thing as well. It's the most eau de cologne-ish.
Yeah.
Could even have a bit of neroli in it or something, do you think?
Maybe.
But it's got that real...
There's some florals in there as well. I can't remember which ones they are, but there's a few florals in there.
I think that's the most fresh and citrusy, and it reminds you of when you peel an orange or...
Yes, it's got like the
tangerine,
zest.
that white bit, the pith or whatever they call it, the zest,
kind of
all of those
zesty.
things, yeah.
But,
it really has, that smells very natural.
And it has a great development, so it really changes on your skin, and it's really interesting.
And that one's called what?
Mandarin Herbs.
Mandarin Herbs might just have become my favourite.
Yeah.
I'll just mention prices while we're spraying. So 15 mils is £62.31. 30 mils is £117.53, and 50 mil is £196.40. So I would have to say at this point they're not cheap.
You should definitely sample first based on those prices.
They are not cheap. Okay.
But I do think that there's a quality there, and you can really tell. Now this one is probably my least favourite. It's called Après la Pluie, and I don't think I've written the notes down. But to me, I get a lot of coffee from it, which I don't think is in the notes officially. But it dries down, and I've tried it on skin a few times. It dries down to almost like a black coffee, like a thick black coffee.
Obviously that means after the rain.
Yeah. Maybe after the rain we should all have a coffee.
Well, maybe you've been in the rain and you've run into a coffee shop and now you're having a coffee and you've got a quite damp woolen jumper.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but it's probably not my favourite.
It's not what you're
either.
expecting. It is a little bit earthy.
Yeah, it's kind of got that.
It just doesn't quite work for me, and you're the same, aren't you? It's just like
it's not
slightly odd, and I can't put my finger on what it is. But
I think it smells interesting. It's the most niche smelling in terms of being a bit out there.
Yeah.
But it's not my favourite, and it does. I can see that it has that petrichor or something where the rains hit the concrete thing in there as well. But those ones don't normally do it for me. I'm just going to nip to the fridge. I'll be right back.
Okay.
If you can fill, then I won't have to cut the video.
Right then. So this one's called Fraise Sauvage. So this means wild strawberry. This one's very pleasant. It's a very fresh strawberry note. Strawberry and air. Like
Strawberry and air?
strawberry and fresh air. Maybe almost like if you open up a freezer and you get a blast of cold air. Kind of like that. You like this one.
Is it mint in there?
Maybe there's mint in there. I'm not sure. Again, it's not one I've written notes down on.
Okay, but you know there's strawberry in it.
Yeah, it's called Fraise Sauvage.
Okay.
So
Wild
strawberry.
strawberries, yeah.
Nice. It didn't grab me.
Yeah. Things with strawberries, it's inherently nice, but they're not my favourite thing in a fragrance.
No.
So,
and I don't think you can actually get strawberry as a natural.
So you've got to create
So
that
I think
idea.
it might be synthetic, but I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I don't think you can. Although it does smell quite natural, the strawberry there. It's not like...
It's very pleasant.
It's not sugary, is it?
No,
it's
no,
Like
it's not.
a gourmand.
No, it's more the fresher element of a strawberry, but it does smell like a strawberry.
Yeah.
And I think there's a bit of mint in there and some herbs, and
Maybe.
it's quite nice, but it's not leaping to the top of my favourites list so far.
Now this
the
is
bunch.
actually, I think, your least favourite. I like this one,
Right.
but it's a bit green. So
Okay.
this one's called Narcissa. Narcissus? Narciss. I think it's just called Narciss.
Today I like it.
Do you? That's interesting.
I remember I didn't before.
So it really does smell like if you're walking along and you've got loads of those yellow daffodils catching in the breeze. It does smell like that with the fresh green grass at the same time.
Very green and outdoors. You can see yourself in a meadow or walking through
a meadow of wild narcissus.
It's almost as if it's just rained, and
there might be
the
another,
rain has brought all the smells out of the plants
it's almost
more
like
than
an
they normally
earthiness,
would
isn't there, actually?
be. Yeah, I
Now you
today
say
I
that.
like that. Sometimes I don't like that strong narcissus note.
Earthy, almost mushroom-esque.
Oh no, that's not good.
But not in a bad way.
All right.
And maybe a hint of heliotrope again, like giving it a tiny hint of almond-likeness.
Now I'm not mad keen on that one.
Okay, so
that's really interesting and niche smelling and strong.
Yes.
But some of the notes in there may or may not appeal to everybody. I think.
I'd say you absolutely must test them out first. But okay, this one's called Avril, and that means April.
Oh right.
I'm not telling you that. I'm telling everyone else that. This one actually dried down to smell somewhat creedy. Now the notes are jasmine, ozonic notes, tulip, rose, amber, and cardamom, and there's others as well. There's just a few that I picked out.
They're really nice. That's really good.
And that dried down to me on my skin, ever so a bit like Creed fragrances.
Yeah,
you know, like
big time. Yeah.
The ambergris dry down kind of thing.
Maybe they've got ambergris in them, I wonder. Maybe sometimes when they say amber, do you wonder if they mean ambergris? Because some people say white
Depends
amber.
what people mean, doesn't it?
Don't you think that's confusing, that some things list amber as a note, but they might mean amber like a dark woody thing that is found in rocks, and they might mean ambergris.
Or they might mean, normally they mean a combination of vanilla and resins to give it that sweet base. But they could mean ambergris, and they could actually mean fossil amber, which is rare, but actually has been used in fragrances.
Exactly.
It's too bloody confusing.
So it's confusing. That's what I'm trying to say.
You could have like a whole lesson just on amber and the variations of what it means.
That's really nice. I really like that one, and I think if some of these, if they perform well, these freshies, could be amazing.
Oh, that's gorgeous. It smells like. My mum used to have this plant, and I can't remember what it's called, and then little flowers. It had to grow in the conservatory because it needed the warmth.
Right.
Little petals, and you couldn't touch it because it would die, but you would form little dewdrops of sugary sweetness. And if you put your finger in osmosis, pick up the dewdrop and lick it, it was this sugary liquid. And it reminds me of that. Oh. Sorry, that sounds weird, but if you know what I'm talking about, it's a plant that.
It does remind me of plants. It reminds me of
honeyed dewdrops from a plant. It smells very, very natural, but quite sort of sweet.
Very natural, flowery plant-like smells. Bit like being in one of those greenhouse places that you visit at Kew Gardens. But really nice and fresh. So if some of these freshies perform, they're exquisite.
They do. Well, I can tell you that so far they've all performed really well.
Is this the last one?
This is the last one, and I'm going on skin because we've not got much left, and it's my favourite.
Okay.
It's called Tulip Rouge, which means red tulip.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, right. I wouldn't have known that.
Okay, but forget what it's called. Just smell it.
I'm not surprised that's your favourite. It's sweet. It's gourmandish.
Yeah,
it's marzipan-like.
Yeah.
Did you say marzipan?
Yeah.
It's like a Guerlain. It's like one of your favourite Guerlains.
It's like Guerlain decided to do a marzipan fragrance. I really love it. Absolutely love it.
That is good. What's it called? Tulip Rouge?
Tulip Rouge.
I kind of am almost with you on that. That could be the best of the bunch.
I love it.
That is beautiful. That's
all of them.
Tulip Rouge.
Yeah, I mean, they are a bit pricey, but I would urge you, if you can, check them out. If you're into transparent, quite a lot of floral notes in there. So if you're a man's man and you only like wearing rugged leathers and, I don't know, masculines.
Yeah, nothing's been like that so far.
No, they are transparent. Yeah. There's a light touch to every single one of them.
Yeah, light and airy.
Except maybe the Après Le Pluie, which I'm not quite sure about that. It feels different to the rest of the bunch, but I would say if you like a light and airy something along a Guerlain-esque
That's
feel.
really classy, that Tulip Rouge, yeah.
Yeah, then I would give them a go.
Yeah.
Because they are really, really beautiful.
Definitely an interesting house, and it's great to have something coming out of Russia. Not, you know, we get a lot of things from other countries, but I don't think we've ever had a Russian brand, so good to feature one on the show.
Definitely.
And these seem really, really interesting, really good, and yeah, very wearable, but do have that niche quality about them. Of course, so yeah, they are not cheap. So let us know if you've tried any of those, or how interested you are to do so.
Yes.
Is that it?
No, one more. Life updates. Come on, we
Life
promised the
updates.
people.
Ah, yes.
So-
Well, what's going on in our personal life then?
Yes.
So, well, it wasn't that many months ago. They were saying we had split up, but we did still make videos together as friends. And
No, we
that's-
were
then we
friends,
were only as
without
it was
quotation
no, it was
marks.
genuinely the case.
Yeah.
Well, we have managed to move back to the next level of things, and I'm going to be moving into Claire's. We shoot these videos at Claire's place, but I've normally been going back to North London. But I'm moving in here next week, full time. So wish me luck with that, and more importantly,
You wish me luck.
Poor Claire luck. Imagine living with Mr. Smelly. So really looking forward to that. It's really good. It's going to be a new chapter in our life.
So on that note,
Yes. What?
I've got you a moving in present.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Are you
Do
kidding?
you want to open it?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Well, obviously,
I didn't. This is not planned.
This is a
she's
surprise.
planned it. I didn't
Yeah.
know this. You shouldn't have.
I know. Look, it's got pineapples on it.
Oh my good God!
He likes pineapple.
You
notes
reckon
on
I'm really into the
perfumes.
note of pineapple from Aventus? Thank you. You shouldn't have
That's
done
all right.
that.
So we already have a toaster, and we already have. What do people get?
Well, it's not a fragrance. What? Is
Just
it some knives and
open
forks?
it. Open it. It's not knives
No,
and
it is a
forks.
fragrance. I thought she bought me like a.
Get it on camera.
Okay, sorry. Okay, unboxing.
Unboxing.
Really nicely wrapped. Thank you. You shouldn't have done that.
It's all right.
So there you go. A little bit of romance.
Moving
blushing,
in, present, live.
Yeah, and we're off on holiday. Next week to Gran
Thursday?
Canaria.
Thursday?
Thursday we're going to Gran Canaria, so we'll try and do at least one video from there.
Yeah.
And we have been doing a bit of jet setting actually. We're not
We're doing all right, aren't we?
we're not normally doing that, but since we kind of got back together, we decided to enjoy life a bit more because that's what it's for. So what's this?
Open
Hang
it
on
up.
a minute. No,
Open it up.
you
Show
shouldn't
people.
have. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay,
Show
well I haven't
people.
opened. Okay, I'm very surprised, and I'm going to be very amazed. I think. What is it? Oh my God! Creed Spice and Wood. Now that is, I mean, that is not cheap,
It's
and
not
you should
brand
not
new.
have bought that.
No,
well,
listen, it's not brand new. As you
Right.
can see, the top's been resealed.
Oh, all right, yeah.
So it's partial. It's
okay,
pretty much
thank
full.
you ever so
Have
much.
Have a
That's
check.
so lovely. And by the way, viewers, Creeds don't normally come in cellophane, but I do know for a fact that this range, the exclusives or whatever they're called, that they do.
I did get
So
it from
before
someone
you-
that
yeah,
we both know and
It's-
trust. So,
I know you would be.
um,
Oh, you should.
honestly, I got it for a really good deal.
It's Claire's birthday coming up, so I'm
Now you got to up your
really
game.
gonna have to. I think that bottle of Britney Spears might have to be improved upon. Yeah. Thank you so much. So Creed Spice and Wood, of course, one of the famous ones from the Creed, probably the most popular Royal exclusive. It's got those usual lovely little jobbies that you get in Creed fragrances about the history. That's so, I feel really bad.
Why would you feel bad?
Well,
It's a moving
that's
in
not.
prison.
Oh, thank you. So
You're going the wrong
lovely
way.
box. Oh, it's this way around, and this is the one that they do that looks like this.
Oh, look at that bottle.
This is amazing. Had you not seen it in there? You
Yeah,
have.
no, I've worn it a couple of times.
Wow, that's so kind of you. And it's rapidly become a favourite because we both enjoyed it when I've had a decant that you got me for my birthday. So thank you so much.
Okay.
You are too. I'm embarrassed. And of course, yes, it's spice and wood, so it's spicy and woody, kind of apple.
I get quite a lot of vetiver
Bit of
from
citrus,
it.
bit of vetiver. There's some cinnamon in it as well.
Yes,
And it does
there
have a
is.
very exquisite bottle. So, what a lovely gesture. And yeah.
Caught on camera.
Thank you ever so much for that. I'm
Okay.
extremely fortunate. And I guess that's a good note to end on. Thanks for joining us. Keep smelling great. Let us know what you thought about any of the topics covered in this video. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you.
Bye bye.